Greetings, Jedi Traders. David here of TradingFibs.com to bring you the daily trend for week 39, day 4. It is Thursday, September 29th, 2016. As always, please seek financial advisement when trading with your money, as these videos are for educational purposes only, to support your knowledge in the market, see what's going through my head on any given day. Always make sure you have a solid trading plan and always manage your stop when placing a trade. All right, what a day, what a week. Multiple Fed speakers. We got OPEC in the news. We got Deutsche Bank today that just rattled the markets. There's end of the month here, window dressing coming up tomorrow, last day of September, enough to make these markets move. All right, for the next 15 minutes, we'll go through some the charts, see where trend was today, where were some of those real optimal setups, what did we learn today, and then we'll take a look at where is current trend momentum. Is the first time watching the videos, do the daily trend every day, look at the futures, and take a look at some charts as well if they are brought up. And if you are interested in joining us in the trading room any other day, please go ahead and wait till the end of this video and I'll give you that information. All right, guys, let's jump into the daily results for Trading Fibs and the live trading room. Econ data across the board highlighting, there it is, words like narrow, very low, fell. Doesn't sound very good, does it? And there it was, news on the Deutsche Banks and Apple. NASDAQ sliding on report of exploding iPhone 7. Oh my. Check out Ken Polcari's newsletter each morning. If you're interested, click here to read more of his daily newsletter and subscribe. But today, what a day. Lots of setups, 16 setups, more than the usual, I'd say, but plenty of trending opportunities that were out there. I usually like to look for 1 to 2 solid setups. Yes, perhaps maybe a higher time frame would have been much better today, but some clean setups and trying out some new strategies today gave out some more. So, but great day. Stayed away from the YM. It was tiring enough to be on the NQ and the ES, let alone to try and trade 3. But there it was, out of the ballpark on the NQ, and what a day on the ES. Haven't had a day like that on the ES, but nice, good. It was 2 major trades there, downside. That's what really put us up in the numbers. I mean, come on. There's almost 300 ticks there. That was all on Deutsche Bank news there. That we'll take a look at the charts here in a moment. All right, let's take a look at some of the highlights here of the day. Crude with a nice move to the upside above the Heikin-Ashi cloud, 51.44, all charts in sync. That's all you needed to be in the green, and that is what we are looking for. Clear to the upside. Crude with a nice move. We'll see how far that move extended as well. And there was the move of the day, guys, on the ESNQYM, all to the downside underneath. The Deutsche Bank news came out. There you are on a lower time frame, gets you in 5 charts in the red, and you just manage it in the red on a higher time frame, and that's all you need to do. Break out above the T310, exit the trade. What a nice run. Hey, if price comes back down, go ahead and re-enter, or simply take off a contract. Keep your stop at a manageable distance. If it breaks into the cloud, hey, exit the trade. You got a piece of the pie. That's how I see it. All right, what I wanted to point out as we do each day in trend, lots of these setups that we had today, the question is that a solid setup? Should I get in? Should I stay out? And watching that AD line, one of the AD lines either for the NYSE or the NQ, you're watching price action, and as it comes up to certain given levels, and so here you have a nice solid setup. Back above, you got almost all charts in the green. You got a T350 here. You might have taken the entry and you're saying, where do I exit? How do I exit? Your trade management setup, and then you notice price action hits the 0 right there. You might say, you know, in the first place, I might not take this, or you're looking at the setup and saying, hey, this might be a great place. And when we talk about a trade coming out at the top, this is what we might look for. Again, nothing wrong with placing the stop, taking a contract off, moving your stop to a manageable exit position, either break even or slightly behind, so at least if the trade comes back, you won't exit at a negative. But here's a way, a nice tool, when price action lifts here, to exit at the highs as price action neared the AD line at the 0. And we have a couple of examples here too of not only if you're entering, but should you get in the trade. And so here we have an opportunity, price action to the downside, here on the NQ. You might have still just been managing this on the way down. But let's say you exited, you're looking for a new entry, you pulled back, and here it is, solid body tail down, 5 charts in the red. You look to the right and say, whoa, there it is, AD line stalling right at negative 45, one of the key lines that I have there, and you hold off. And then price action gets back down again, and it breaks the AD line, and you're back in for a nice trend. So keep that in mind as you're watching market internals every day. All right, so jumping in, trying a little bit of strategy out that we talked about in the trading room. Again, nice price action to the upside. Here we have some ins and outs, or simply price action, one contract on, contract off is price action turned around. But here was price action, I'm not showing all the key levels here that I use intraday. Those are things we go over in the trading room. But here it is, a trade that I don't usually take. Here we see price action in the morning session on the counter trend as the majority of charts in the red, and using the T310. The T310 exponential moving average is price action exited, weighed another bar. Price action broke above the Globex low. I took a long up to the T3 cloud here, and what a sweet trade to do a counter, and so actually worked out. Again, today, the question is, how will it work out in a chop? Well, we can only wait and see. All right, there was the NQ. Again, similar setups. Counter trend moves to the upside as price action broke above the T310. Again, I had already been out of the trade. I wasn't looking for a long. I'd rather be at a higher time frame sometimes and just ride it completely downside. But again, I saw the volatility. I saw the quick action today. There's a nice AM session setup up to the T3 cloud. I'm out. Back into the downside, a little bit of a different trade management. Once again, to the downside. Didn't exactly take every counter trend as the session wore on. Got very tiring as there were 16 setups, way beyond my normal day. There it was, nice setup for the day downside here on the ES. That was the big winner of the day. Went to the higher time frame and managed that trade again. Like I said, didn't take necessarily every counter trend here. And there was the PM session at the end. But did decide to go with that nice long one, even through the cloud here, but decided to manage it up to the cloud, T350, ran it all the way up and exit as price action came back down. Again, I probably, and I remember noticing that price action ran up here to the 4-hour. I was watching the AD line, could have exited somewhere even closer to the high, but hey, who knows? We might even pull higher and just remain left the rest of the session alone. And there it was, the NQ PM session again. Took some of those counter trends. Again, if I'm sitting not playing on the ES, I was looking at the NQ. As you can see here, a lot more entries. Again, underneath the T350, these are my setups. These are my setups. But playing around with the counter trend today, up to the T350, making sure I got one off, stop at break even. You can see price never came back. Break through the cloud. That was the better of the setups as more charts in the green and upside, and just left the remainder of the session alone. All right, so there it is. There are the setups. There are the highlights. There's that NISS NQ as we talked about. As I said, I would put up yesterday. You can see some of those key levels and resistance. I highly recommend you use the AD line for the NQ, as well as you can see the majority of the session here downside on the overall YM and ES to the downside. A little bit of reject there at the 750. Price action came back down and pretty much stayed for the remainder of the downside. How do we do on the daily gaps today? No new daily gaps. We still have some upside. We have some downside. NQ hold it up at the highs. Love that crude running up to 48.56. That's where my eyes are on, as hopefully I thought we would go get that today, but no go. Daily fib levels, we did pretty good. Daily fib levels, we got the downside on all three. There it is, NQ, YM, and ES, based on the previous day's performance. All right, let's roll into the daily trend one. Any highlights here? Let's get that arrow out, pull up that crude chart as we point out some of the highlights here, and then we'll take a look at where we are headed into tomorrow's session. All right, there it was. There was the one big crude. Nice move up to the upside. A little bit of a pullback here. Gave you another opportunity to get back in upside above the T350 cloud. Very nice afternoon session. Pretty much chopped it out. Gold, another example of a nice trade here in the afternoon session and early morning. Solid buy signal downside and sell signal downside, and solid body tail up above the T350 cloud. Very nice move in the afternoon. Bonds also with a nice move as that Deutsche Bank news came out. There it was, the lift above the cloud, above the Globex high, giving you a long entry. Taking a look at the YM again, we spoke of all the multiple entries to the downside in trend underneath the T350 cloud. Again, didn't touch the YM today. There he had a little small entry. And then anything really above the cloud, there weren't many entries. So if you went for the counter trend, it would have been in moves like there and a little squeeze there before the T350 down here. Those would have been your counter. NQ, again, nice setups here. That was pre-market. Market open. Again, higher time frame would have probably kept you out of this chop, but there it was. One setup after another. You got it in the counter trend over here. Again, a lot of chop here, but again, when this was the Deutsche Bank news, went to the higher time frame, so you eliminate all that chop. You don't even worry about that. And then price action on the higher time frame went long here, and so you took an entry, maybe you exited right here at the T350, and then back in the cloud, and you're back downside and upside. So lots of nice sweeping opportunities, but in the end, overall downtrend for the most part ended up being downtrend for the day, as well as the ES. Similar setups across the board, looking like the NQ. All right, where are we headed into tomorrow as price action heads? I expect the overnight session to probably continue some kind of drive here, so get your seatbelts on, as one of our traders said, and we'll see where the ride takes us. Right now, really great volume today as we start to end out the month. 50 above 200 price action here. We're in the gap still. I still have to go with the trends that I've been talking about. Uptrend on the NQ, downtrend pullback here, but starting to lean back downside. If I get price action underneath the T350 here, I am in a confirmed downtrend on both the ES and the YM. Really pretty chopping it up at the tops. Daily Big Pick 2 EMD with a nice move upside. Again, uptrend. Got to go with the downtrend on the gold. Is price action back inside the gap and underneath the 5144. And the bonds, nice move upside today. 50, as we said yesterday, just about to cross that 144. So for the most part, without that 50 below the above the 144, it's still a downtrend, but it's by a hairy hair. I'll go with the uptrend at this point as price action holding upside. And Daily Big 3, again, by the way, when I do mention these trends, I want you to notice that if price action for any reason pulls back, you want to keep those on your charts. Note where are the 4-hour and where are the daily levels as well. Taking a look at the Daily Big 3 as the EMD, we saw to the downside. I'm sorry, that was crude, not EMD, crude back upside, uptrend. EMD, S&P Midcap 400 in between the 50 and the 200. Volume pretty good today. Again, 50 below the 144. So I still have to go with the downtrend pullback, but we are above the T350. But price action below those two, so nothing more than a downtrend pullback. And then look at the 60 euro, again, chopping sideways, still finding support. I got to go with the uptrend as it's holding above the 50 and the 200 as well. And yen, there's news yen might get a nice big lift here. Find support at the 144, 50 above the 144, 50 above the 200. We find that support. I'm going with momentum on the yen still to the upside. All right, as we roll into tomorrow, we had a lot of data here. Let's go ahead and get those announcements up for Econoday. And get those red star events coming in. Personal income tomorrow, PMI, consumer sentiment, rigs count in the afternoon, and for whatever reason, end of the month can still do it, and any other news that will sway our intraday setups. All right, that concludes today's daily trend. Feel free to stop by at tradingfibs.com or any of my social media outlets for more information. My trading mantra of one simple strategy: any market, any chart, any time frame will keep you disciplined. You can find me every day on Twitter here, as you see, twitter.com trading fibs. If you missed any charts, feel free to check them out here, or StockTwits as well. I always leave the crystal ball to the experts. I only trade what's in front of me and on my charts, and as always, leave your bias at the door when trading. Hey guys, it's Thursday. I always open my room to possible members on Thursdays and Fridays, so if you ever want to check it out, just send me an email to david@tradingfibs.com. We'll get you in for 2 days. If you want to make a commitment, all the power to you, and we'll walk you through those steps hand in hand. Got some great traders in the room, great minds, all like-minded, but if that's not your thing, that's all right. Keep watching the videos, watch the charts. Always looking for a long trend, not looking for a lot of scalps. But sometimes that's what we got to do to get some good trades. All right, have yourselves a Blue Zone day. Pretty excited. Been doing a lot of these videos for a long time. Finally invested in a nice little professional microphone, so hopefully in the next videos next week will sound a lot better than this cheap thing that I've been running around with for the last couple of years. Hey guys, as I said, have yourselves a Blue Zone day, good night, and good trading to you.